Like and subscribe if you can feel this message. This message is really to Africans. And it is to say that first I want to thank South Africa for asking for reparations for African Americans as well as reparations for Africans who were colonized. Thank you for that. But my message to Africa is that you should not do business with countries that are guilty of colonization and slavery until they pay reparations. Any country that is still exercising systemic racism toward black people will exercise racism against you. The, the African people, we are not ignorant, but we have been misled because we have not been able to get the truth, the proper information. We've been deceived. But now the internet has made the world a smaller place, and we all know the truth. So I know that the message that I'm sending to you, someone there who I've never met, is saying the exact same thing to you. And this is why the president of South Africa is asking for reparation for African Americans as well as reparations for the colonization of African countries, because he knows that if colonizers, Khazars, don't want to pay reparations for the damage they have done to black people, then they cannot be trusted to do business equitably with Africans. That's only common sense. They don't understand that we are smarter than them. We built civilizations. We are the builders of civilization, and African Americans built this country and is responsible for over 90% of the technology. We invented the computer, cell phones, home computers, the internet, light bulbs, telephone, cars, oil pumps, all these things, refrigeration, plasma, blood plasma, first heart surgeons, first brain surgeons, first people to build cities with sewers were black. And the problem is that Caucasians, Khazars, have been drinking too much of their own Kool-Aid, and what I mean is they've been believing their own lies. They are brainwashed by their own lies. The difference is when we hear the truth, we can accept the truth. We learn from the truth. They can't they can't internalize the truth because they don't want it to be true. They don't want the truth to be true. They're hiding from the truth, and they suffer from cognitive dissonance. They're hiding from the truth. They don't want the truth. But the truth is spreading like crazy all over the world. We know who the Khazars are. They are the fake Jews in Israel. We know through the internet that the United States put them there as a military base to have some type of control in the Middle East. But that's not going to work for them because they are surrounded. And their propaganda isn't working. But the main message I want to send to Africa is this. I know who Malema is. I know who Abraham Tory is. I know who the Sahel region are, the countries that made it up. I know about the connection between the Sahel region and now with Kenya. I hear what Uganda is doing. I know that the fastest growing economy in Africa now is Niger. I know that France and the United States, under the guise of defeating terrorists in Africa, were the actual terrorists. And I know you know that too, so you know that you can't trust them. And it's good that you're doing business with Russia and China, countries that have never been guilty of colonization. But the ignorance of the United States is such, and Europe, is that they think nobody understands what they've been doing. Biden's America African summit was a failure. Europe's was a failure too, and nobody's listening to them. But my thing is this, until they pay reparations for the injustice that they've done to black people for over centuries, over the last 3 or 4 centuries, then they can't be trusted. And I know this is why the president of South Africa asked for reparations for African Americans who have been enslaved also, because he knows that if we're going to be mistreated in the United States, then the United States has not changed, and they're still colonizers, and they can't be trusted. They suffer from cognitive dissonance, which is a mental imbalance. And Israel, they are just psychopaths, total psychopaths. Then you have the evangelicals here, they're psychopaths too, so you can't trust them. You can't trust anything coming out of Biden's mouth. And you definitely can't trust Trump. But I don't need to tell you this, so I'm going to end here. But I just want you to know that I see what you're doing. And I know you see what I'm feeling over here. And you know the systemic racism that we have to deal with over here with police being trained in Israel. Police chiefs are trained in Israel, and they're coming over here, and they are deleting black people. Because their plan was to delete the Palestinians, and after they deleted the Palestinians, then the Khazars and white supremacists are planning on deleting African Americans. And just like you have puppets there, we have puppets here. We have more puppets here than you have there, because we have no leaders. And the reality is, Caucasians giveth, and the Caucasians taketh away. And all these, the Hollywood actors, the musical artists that have been portrayed, that have betrayed their people, now their masters no longer need them, and they're turning them in, and they're putting them on Front Street. But that's another story, for another time. But the main point I want to make is, until reparations is paid, until the United States ends systemic racism, you can't trust the United States, and you should not do any type of business with the United States. If anything, you should put sanctions on the United States. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later. And yeah, I'm watching your channels over there too. I'm watching your content creators over there. So, like I said, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.